Welcome back to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. For friendly expert tax advice whenever you need it, come to Donahue Accounting Services. A leading accounting firm in Cincinnati, Ohio, our top-notch accountants strive to help you resolve all your financial and tax issues. Call Donahue Accounting Services today for a free consultation at 513-528-3982 or visit online at DonahueAccountingService.com. I'm your host, Alex Meacham, former Bearcat basketball player from 1997 to 1999 under the Hall of Fame coach, Bob Huggins.
And I'm Neil Meyer of the Front Office News.
And I'm JT Smith, editor-in-chief of the Front Office News.
All right, fellas, we are back for another episode. Let's jump right into it. The Bearcats are currently 7-4 after losing to Georgia 65-84, and we're going to talk a lot about that. And then beating Alabama State 88-51. This is the Bearcat game recap segment sponsored by Purple Monkey Project. All right, JT, let's start with you. Thoughts on the Bearcats' performance, Georgia, Alabama State.
All right, Georgia started off with some hope. They were scrappy for a little bit, played like they wanted to be there, then had the 11-point lead, and then they just let Georgia walk them down. It's tied at halftime. I think they might have been up for a couple seconds in the second half, and then Georgia just took off on them, and just they had no resistance. It was like Mish, you watch boxing. You a boxing fan.
Big time.
You know the Mexican Monster, David Benavidez. You know how it is. Lately his fights, it's a good fight. You could tell he's winning. But then when he turns it on, he's hitting people with 20 punch combos and hitting them with 15 punch combos, and they're not answering. And that's kind of what Georgia did to the Bearcats. He hit him with a 10-piece combo, and just
for sure,
they were just done. You know what I mean? They're backs against the ropes, and then just Georgia's they're the Mexican Monster. You know what I mean? It's good boxing. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be good boxing, but the undercards should be good for the Jake Paul fight.
I haven't seen undercard yet.
My friend says should be a good undercard. So
okay,
they
better have it, because I don't know that fight's going to be all that good.
Yeah, I mean, if it goes past 3, Joshua's ball
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's no way.
You would think. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So undercard needs to be really good.
It has to be. It got to be, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. My bad for getting off track, but
no, I can talk boxing. Okay.
Yeah, same. So,
hey, if the Bearcats start playing bad this year, it's gonna be a boxing podcast, bro.
I'm gonna go back to my roots. So yeah, for sure. So they're running and gunning, man. It just got ugly. It got super ugly. It reminded me of the Louisville game to an extent. But then it was Georgia is good, but they're not Louisville good to me. So I was just come on, guys, you know what I mean? So that hurt. That hurt. So they're 6-4 going into the Alabama State game, and you're all right, you see what they do, but it's neither here nor there. But then you get the news that Jizzle James is coming back, and then this Alabama State game gets a little bit more juice, and you're I just want to see how he looks, and he comes out, he's looking pretty good. The team looks better. I mean, it's Alabama State. They're not they've had a tough schedule, so it's not this. It's not a Duke or a blue blood team, but they've played some good teams. But fans aren't going to get super excited about it. But the thing about it was, you got a guy that's went through his trials and tribulations, did his thing to be able to come back. That's deeper than basketball. And then the young man comes out and plays damn good. And then so this 7-4 team, I don't want to jump the gun. You kind of give from how bad Georgia was to how good Alabama State is, or that game was. You kind of have a little hope. Where the hope wasn't there, maybe before. So, and it could be us being homers per se, where the hope is at. But, yeah, man, it was night and day from Georgia to Alabama State. But I know Georgia and Alabama State on here is 180. You know what I mean, too, as well. So
Yeah. Well, I do want to hold that conversation for a little bit later about the hope the Bearcats might have. I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. But back to the Georgia game real quick, JT. When you're watching the first part of that game and the Bearcats, have a lead, looking pretty good. What are you thinking at that point?
I'm just like, man, have like a 5-point lead at half in my head. Then they were up double digits. And then like it's just like when the wheels fall off, they fall off. Like they just it's like how like you see like the weather was a little shitty with the snow and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm driving, I see a car spin out, do a 360. Lucky didn't hit anybody. Like God was on my side, that person's side, I was like three lanes away. But it's like when the tire, like when it's like that, you see it's the car that spins out. They spin out, their tires shoot across the highway, or it hits X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? Like their windows just implode. Like it just, they don't have any resistance when it gets shaky. Like when they got down, I was just like, damn, it's I don't think they're gonna come back. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, Georgia didn't even shoot great from three like that. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't matter sometimes.
Well, and you, like you said, potentially have a 5-point lead at halftime. But I think the game was tied at half, right?
Yeah, tied at half.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, geez. And then second half, is what it is. And it's like, man, they could. And that's a beatable Georgia team.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, so let's say they do have a 5-point lead at halftime, get some confidence, beat Georgia, and then come out and beat Alabama State the way they did with Jizzle, I think we'd be having a little bit of a different conversation. People might be like, okay, maybe early on they were still trying to figure some things out. Maybe there's some hope there. But I think a lot of fans are kind of like, is Alabama State just that garbage?
Yeah, that's pretty much what people are saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, and they have the right to say that, just how the team has looked. You come into, you beat a quality Dayton team. You got to give them props for that. But, you had Louisville on the ropes. You let them off the hook. Louisville just lost by everybody's beatable. So it's just like you got to seize the moment. They're just not seizing the moment so far yet. And then Georgia, I feel like they should have handled them. And then just Xavier just got took to the shed at home,
man,
by a Creighton, Creighton team, and just like, and we lose to that Xavier team. Like, and I keep harping on the Xavier game. That team isn't good.
JT, you said it. I agree with you 100%. That is one of the, and I don't mean this like, that's one of the worst Xavier teams I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I can't remember. Right? The Xavier team that's good. For Xavier, yes.
They thought things were going all right over there in Norwood, but they went all wrong the other night.
Oh, you back with the dad jokes. Here we go. Neil, we almost, we thought we were going to make it through.
He started early with that one, too.
He couldn't even let us get like a little steam going. He
said, I knew he was going. I knew it. As soon as he said, I knew an all right joke was coming.
As soon as he started talking about getting taken to the shed, that's when the all right.
I knew it.
JT.
I should have muted his mic.
You should have defunded him right when you
should have been like this. Like Neil, say something, Neil. Neil, say something.
Oh
no, but yeah, you're right though. They did. It was all wrong.
Yeah.
But then we lose to that team, so then it just and then the Georgia game just was the pile on top of losing to Xavier. So you're just like, like what are we gonna do? Then you don't even talk about the EMU game. You know what I mean? That's just like. It's like what was the movie? Was that Danny Glover? Was that Danny Glover? And when the dude he had the wounds and he was putting the salt on them. One of them old was it Die Hard? That Die Hard? Not Die.
Danny Glover wasn't in Die Hard.
What was Danny Glover and my man Mel Gibson? What was they movies they was in?
Lethal Weapon?
Lethal Weapon.
Oh, yeah. Lethal Weapon.
When they had my man, he was like hostage. I think that was Danny Glover. They had him up, or it might have been Mel. One of them they threw the salt on him. You remember that?
Oh, salt on on his wounds. Yeah.
He had a wound. They threw the salt on him.
Yeah. I got you now. Yeah.
My bad. I wasn't clear with that. For the people that's gonna be listening, but yeah, man.
You know, JT. Just to kind of take some of the things you said and bring it all together. If you really think about it, you've mentioned quite a few games. You talked about the Dayton game. You talked about the Louisville game, Georgia, Alabama State, Xavier. If you look at that, it's like it's a different team each game. It's so bipolar. We don't know what we're going to get. And I think that's the frustration with a lot of fans and people with this basketball team is it's like it's bipolar. We don't know what we're going to get.
Yeah, it's like the Cincinnati weather. Like it just got mad snow last week, and now it's raining and 50 degrees. You know what I'm saying? That is the Bearcats team legitimately. You know what I mean?
Yep, Bearcats are Cincinnati weather.
It's Cincinnati weather, man. It can change at the drop of a dime. And that's what's going on. You know what I mean? You don't know what you're gonna get. It's like, well, my man Force, life's like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Know what you're gonna get.
You don't know what you're gonna get.
Man. Well, Neil, I'm gonna bring you in. Let's easy on the dad jokes. All right, we got one. We're gonna let that slide.
Neil, say something, Neil.
Yeah, good try. I just unmuted my mic. You can't mute me.
Oh, all right, Neil. I'm gonna caution you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna caution you.
All right. Why don't you give us your thoughts? Go ahead and recap the Georgia and Alabama State game.
Yeah, I thought, like you guys mentioned, I thought the first half of the Georgia game was definitely they had Georgia right where they wanted them. They were up 11 at one point. They kind of let Georgia get back into it. You go into the half tied at 37. And for me, the difference maker was in this matchup, when Tyler McKinley got hurt, you saw the noticeable drop-off. And, I mean, people are now starting to see how valuable he is to this team and this program.
No doubt.
And he did not play versus Alabama State, so that's something to really kind of sit in the factors. But Georgia just did what Georgia does best, and that's push the tempo and create turnovers in the second half. And that's exactly what they did, and they're a great defensive team that was averaging nearly 100 points per game, and they came out and got 50 in the second half, essentially. So that was just Georgia playing their identity and playing their style of basketball. And it's actually funny, too, because I was actually out at SantaCon watching this game with a couple of buddies from UC Athletics Department. Shout out to some of my college buddies. But we were watching the game, and I looked over to one of my buddies who works in athletics meet, and I said, hey, man, how you feeling about this game right now? And it was after the first 4-minute segment of the second half. Meach, I watched him walk right to the bar and pour up 8 Rumpelman shots. 8 Rumpelman shots for him and some friends, because that's how confident he felt in the second half. Jokes aside, drinking that, in general, bad decisions. But while watching a Bearcats game...
Wait, hold on. I'm a little confused. What was he getting the shots for?
Rumpelmans. I asked him, like, during the first 4 minutes, I said, hey, like, how confident are you in this game? Like, we're tied at halftime, like, first 4 segments over.
What was the shots for?
Because he knew the Bearcats were going to slip away, essentially. He was like, I don't know if I can watch this.
Okay. I got you. You confused me a little bit. I got you.
He kind of felt where this game was going, and he was like, well, put me out my misery. Yeah, put me out my misery now, essentially. And
so, I mean, how many of those shots did you take of the ones?
Zero.
Okay. So wait, first of all, let's go back. Why were you out when it was like that cold and snowing at SantaCon or whatever?
Oh, I was out with the boys who live downtown, so we were staying at his place having fun, and we just walked right across the street watching basketball and enjoyed SantaCon.
Were you at the Grail?
Yeah, we were at Holy Grail.
Okay.
I had my Santa onesie on too. I was partaking in the theme.
Oh no.
I was partaking in the theme.
Yeah.
I sure did. You guys can laugh at me all you want, but I kid you not, there was like 1,500 people down at the banks in that snowstorm and nothing but onesies.
In onesies?
In onesies.
JT, I'm not even going to make the comment I want to make.
Yeah, I'm gonna spare him. I feel like I've been so tough on Neil lately.
Hey.
I got so many jokes, but I am going to spare.
Neil sets himself up though for some of these jokes.
Yeah, it's like the LeBron picture, the LeBron it's every time, man. It's like off the backboard almost. It's like, man, I want to go get it. But I'm gonna spare you this time. Go ahead, onesie, man.
But I'll reel it back in. But the Alabama State game, like you guys mentioned, I think there's a lot more things to consider. Yes, it was an Alabama State team that people thought was horrible, but people forget that was a team that went to the NCAA tournament last year and won their conference and might do so again this year. And now they're not a good team, but take away the bigger things of the basketball game, I think it was just a lot. It was really cool to see Jizzle James come back. And I mean, just to see him walking around the facilities with a smile on his face. There's a lot more things that are bigger than a sport in itself. And just seeing that all come to fruition on a Wednesday night was pretty cool to see. So I think that's the biggest takeaway from the Alabama State game, despite it being a 36 point win in favor of Cincinnati. Most importantly, it was great to see Jizzle get the reaction he got from Cincinnati. That kind of was the momentum booster that they needed. And most importantly, great to see him with a smile on his face after what these last 5 months have been like for him.
No doubt. We're going to talk about Jizzle a little bit later in the podcast, but I just looked up a text message, and I want to share this with everyone. So JT, Neil, and I have a group text, and we talk quite a bit in the group text, just UC basketball, football, some of Neil's antics, whatever it might be. We talk about it. Neil, one of your texts read about Alabama State. Meach, I could have got 8, or I could have got 6 on them. Easy. You're saying, Neil, that you could have scored 6 points on Alabama State. Do you still stand by that text?
Yeah, I still stand on that. I'm pretty confident. Look, all you had to do, we actually talked about this on Press Row, Meach. Me, JT, Chad, Russ, we all looked at each other and we all were joking about how much we could go out there and score right now. We all gave our answer.
Whoa. Who were the people that said they could score?
JT?
I listened to y'all. I didn't say how
myself. Russ Smith.
I let y'all talk.
JT,
about the scoring.
put me in this.
I'll let
JT
y'all
was
talk.
listening.
I witnessed it, yes.
Okay.
But it was me, Russ Heltman, and Chad Brendel all joked about how many points we could score on this team.
But of the 4, I feel like I would have a better chance of scoring.
I don't know Russ and his game, but I'm gonna go ahead and agree with JT.
Yeah.
Neil, I've never seen you hoop. No offense.
I would have a better chance. I would get my, you know what I mean?
I had a strategy on how I was getting those 6 points, all right? And that was just me driving to the basket and contact hunting. Now, I might get bodied around and thrown to Cliff or Calhoun Street, but I was going to contact hunt. That was how I was planning on scoring my 6 points, was getting to the foul line. Just saying. I had a game plan behind it.
Neil, I tell you what, bro.
Bob would have had to be treating me over in the training room after the first drive, though. But
Neil, do you know how hard it is to score in a college basketball game?
I sure do.
Like what those guys do at that level is not as easy as it looks.
I'm confident.
Okay. All right. I just want to put that out. there.
I'm confident.
I'm gonna leave it alone. Go ahead. I'm gonna leave it alone. I feel that I do. I agree with JT, man. I feel like we've been picking on you, man. I'm sorry. I love you, man.
Hey, Russ said he could get 10.
Okay. I've never seen Russ in person. At least I don't think I have. I've never seen him play. I don't want to doubt his skills, so I don't want to comment on him. I've
He said
never,
he could get 10.
I've never seen. He
Six
might be a
was
hoop.
a reasonable number with the strategy and the thinking. Because at first, when I said that in the group chat, it was every time Cincinnati drove to the basket, they were getting to the foul line. That's why I said.
How many points did Jordy have?
Jordy, let's double check.
How many points did my guy Jordy have? That's my guy, by the way. He's a funny kid.
For real, 0.
How many do you have?
0.
I think 0, right? He had a couple of looks. I just don't think anything fell.
He has 0 points.
Yeah.
There's no way, Neil, you would even get a shot off. I don't know Russ. No offense, Russ. Shout out, Russ. I don't think he's better than Jordy. And who else you say was saying stuff?
It was me, JT, Chad, and Russ.
No comment on the last one.
Hey, they would have sent this stuff to the moon.
Hey, JT, I'm glad you just were there listening.
I was just listening, man. I didn't say I could score, but I'm gonna give myself.
Oh, I for sure said I could score.
I know. I heard you say it. I was there. I just protected the thing. I protected. I listen, man. Sometimes you just gotta listen in the room. You know what I'm saying? That's hilarious. Man, respect.
All right. I like it, Neil. I love your confidence, man.
Yeah.
I do.
Somebody's got to have it. Somebody's got to have it.
You're right. You're right.
All right. Any other thoughts? Any other thoughts before I jump into a couple of my thoughts?
Nope. You're all good.
All right, this is the Bearcat game recap segment sponsored by Purple Monkey Projects. Hey, just a couple things that I want to say is you all pretty much summed up Georgia and Alabama State. I agree with what you guys said. I don't have anything to add on to that. I just want to say one thing regarding this team. We just talked about them being very bipolar game to game. You don't know what team is going to show up. But I'm not going to give up on this team, man. I know it's probably easy to. It's easy to get frustrated with them. But I'm not going to give up on this basketball team. I'm going to be one of them dudes that thinks they're going to turn it around. You know, we could be halfway through the conference season. I'm still going to be like, hey, we're about to turn around this game. I don't know. It's just how I was built. But I also want to give a quick shout out to Steve Logan. I was listening to the post-game wrap-up with Steve and Dan Horde, and Steve gave a big shout-out to Wes Miller. I don't know if you guys heard about this in the post-game.
No.
So Steve said that he had a tremendous – he said, I already respected you, Wes Miller. This is why Wes is sitting there. He said, I already respect you, Wes, but my respect for you has grown even more because – with Jizzle James not giving up on that young man, and he did not give up, and that's the true testament. When coaches say, oh, we're family, you hear that with coaches, and some of it is BS.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? We hear it, we know it's BS. With Wes, I truly believe it's real. And the Jizzle case is a great example of not writing off a kid. And Steve, very, very well – he put it together very eloquent on, you know, what Wes did and the staff did to not give up on Jizzle and help him get back to this point. So I just want to point that out, man. I thought that was touching and really good. You could tell it Wes felt it like he really did. Now I actually want to stop down at practice sometime tomorrow or soon and tell, you know, Wes the same thing. Lastly, I'm going to say again, man, I am not going to give up on this team. There are a group of fans that are true loyal Bearcat fans that I've talked to around the city, and they said, man, we're sticking with this squad. You know, we've been through ups and downs through, you know, you got those fans that have been with like the Bearcats and Cincinnati sports for so long. It's like they've been through this shit. Yeah. Like, you know, hey, we're going to stick with it. And I love those fans for that. And there are plenty of them. I don't know how – I wasn't at the game, Alabama State game. I had an event to go to. But how was the crowd? Was it pretty low?
Yeah.
Probably like 5,000.
So So kind of probably what you'd expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming off, yeah. But man, they're a group of loyal fans, and you know what's going to happen. Let's say the Bearcats, go on win a couple games they probably shouldn't, get on a little streak. What happens? Fifth Third fills back up.
Yep.
Winning cures it all. So, and the last part of this that I want to say is also want to give Wes some props for he's stayed positive with his team, and I respect that too. It's easy as a coach when things are going bad, fans are on you, you feel the pressure, and you kind of turn on your team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't believe he's done that. I mean, I've been to practice. I hear him talking to him. He still has faith in those guys. He's staying positive with him. And as a player, you can appreciate that. And I appreciate that about Wes. I know he's getting criticized for this and that, but I do think there are things that we need to point out when he does, positive things. So
that's facts. That's facts.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
So that was the Purple Monkey Project recap. The Purple Monkey Project was formed following the tragic loss of 10-year-old Reagan Vanasse in May of 2021. Reagan was a ray of sunshine who lit up every room. The Purple Monkey Project is named after Reagan's favorite stuffed animal and seeks to keep Reagan's spirit alive by being a ray of light in the community and promoting random acts of kindness by providing scholarship and other financial support of youth and youth-centered charities in Southwest Ohio. The Purple Monkey Project seeks to pay it forward, all in the name of Reagan. To learn more about the Purple Monkey Project, please visit purplemonkeyproject.org or visit them on Facebook at Purple Monkey Project. Now, this Sunday at 3 p.m., the Bearcats take on Clemson in Greenville, South Carolina. Hey, have you guys been to Greenville before?
I have not.
JT?
No.
Neither have I. You listen to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. Let's jump into the Big O segment sponsored by Oakley Greens. In this segment, we cover players to watch and key matchups. JT, who are you expecting a big game from for the Bearcats?
Right. So I'm expecting Bob Miller to have a big game in a big game. Coming off 26 and 14 points, very impressive. He was, I think, shot 92% from the floor, something like that, something crazy, like 11 or 12 or something like that. Yeah, man, he could just affect the game so many different ways. I just want him to seize the moment, man, because on the road, the Bearcats are going to need him. He has to understand he is very talented and can score multiple ways. He has to do it. So I just think he has the talent. If hopefully that good momentum from Wednesday carries over to Saturday and he has a heck of a game, slaps up a double-double, and it's just one of those things where he plays very effective. Because, against Xavier, he had a double-double, but it wasn't a great double-double. He shot 3 of 12 against a smaller person. Want him to, if he's a taller person or a person same size, we need him to dominate. So that's going to be the key. So I'm expecting him to do his thing on the road and just hopefully get a Bearcats momentum heading into the new year.
How many dunks did he have?
Man.
8 was the
I
official
think.
number.
Yeah.
Wow. That's got to be a record or something, right?
Gotta be. Didn't you ask him, Neil? Like, was that had you had that many dunks in a college game or something like that?
Yeah, and he said nope.
Yeah, I played with Kenyon Martin, who was dunking on everybody. I don't remember him having 8 dunks in a game.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I don't at least I don't remember. I mean, we did play Southern Mississippi, which, Neil, you still couldn't have scored against Southern Mississippi. You weren't scoring a point. I don't know about Russ. No offense to Russ. And nobody else that was talking to was scoring. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Remember Steve Logan outscored my one year. He outscored Southern Mississippi in a game.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember seeing those stats.
That was crazy. I have to ask Steve. If I remember correctly, I think he didn't even know that he had more points than they did, during the game. I don't know when it hit him, but Steve, he was just like, okay. He's just so cool and shit. Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
okay. is what it is. But hey, Neil, we haven't been doing this the last couple podcasts, but for this podcast, players to watch from Clemson. Can you give us about 2 players that fans need to look out for?
Yeah, so the 2 guys that really stand out to me when you watch Clemson is one, RJ Godfrey, the 6'7", 245-pound forward. He's kind of their do-it-all kind of guy for Clemson there in the front court alongside Justin Porter. But that's the guy that's going to stand out. He leads the team in scoring, averaging about 12 points per game and 7 rebounds roughly. So he's kind of your go-go gadget kind of guy for Clemson there, and it's going to be an interesting matchup for Cincinnati. But the other guy that comes into mind is Dylan Hunter as well. I mean, a guy who's shooting 50% from the field and 44% from deep. That's a guy who could come in and could score in volume and score in volume quick. So those are the 2 players that I'm going to really try to be honed in on in Sunday's contest.
Neil, I was impressed with you. I wrote this down. You said Go Gadget. You know who Inspector Gadget is?
No. I know who it is, but I don't know actually who it is.
You just have heard the phrase before.
No. I remember the movie, but or the TV show, whatever it was. But
yeah, Inspector Gadget. That
yeah.
was the show. And the Go Gadget was, you don't know what I'm talking about?
I know Inspector Gadget.
You do?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm confused.
But the guy that will go do everything for Clemson. He was kind of similar. Like we always joked like last year per se with this team. We always joked about how Dan had those moments where he was like go gadget. He would get you 7 rebounds, 10 points, whatever. That's kind of what PJ Godfrey is for Clemson per se, or RJ Godfrey for Clemson.
All right, go gadget. The Big O segment is sponsored by Oakley Greens. My player to watch is going to be Day Thomas. I think this is going to be a game where he has a chance to excel. Being Jizzle's back, I think you could see a little bit of bounce with Day. Like he was almost happy. I don't know if you guys saw that, but when I rewatched the game on ESPNU, you could just see Day and Jizzle talking a little bit. So I think it's going to free him up to do some more things and have that energy back. So and we need, listen, Day is one of those guys with the most experience on the Bearcat basketball team. I've had several conversations with Day after practices at UC about being a leader, what it means to be a leader, how to lead. Listen, of course, the coaches are telling them all this stuff. They're telling them good stuff. It's always good for a young person to hear it from a different voice, a different perspective. So I try to take a different approach with how I say you've got to be a leader. And he's responded well to the things I've said to him in regards to that. But I want to see him step it up even more and lead even more and be even more productive, on the court moving forward. So hopefully this is the game where he does this, because this Clemson game, and we're going to probably say this quite a bit this year moving forward, is another big game. It's another opportunity for this team. And the more opportunities they, don't take advantage of, it's just it could go really bad. Really bad. And my worry, JT, is if you lose a game like Clemson, you turn around and play Lipscomb, should win that. Then you've got Houston. I mean, you could have a basketball team lose their confidence, and then it just gets super ugly.
Yeah.
What type of ugly would it be, JT? Like,
oh man, man, it's Tyrone Hill ugly. Sam Cassell, you know what I mean? It can get ugly. You know what I'm saying? It can get real not made for HD TV ugly. You know what I mean?
Hey, you remember when the NBA every year used to rank and have the top like 10 ugliest people in the NBA. You remember this?
No.
They used
I
to
missed it.
they
I
used to
missed it.
produce a list of it was like that year, the beginning of the year, the top 10 ugliest people in the NBA. And there was a young reporter, he must have been Neil's age, at the Houston Rockets like training camp thing. And
Yeah.
one of the young guys asked Sam Cassell, he says, how does it feel to be back to back number one on the ugliest player in the NBA list?
That's crazy.
I
That's
have
crazy.
to find that YouTube clip. It
I
is.
got to see that.
Hey, Sam
I gotta see that.
Cassell was about to knock.
That
Woo-wee.
he was. Sam Cassell's like 6'3", 6'4", so that's like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, yeah. That kid wasn't lying.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It could. You can
Yeah.
go ahead and talk a little bit, but it could get
Yeah.
up.
It can get ugly. It can get real ugly, man. I'm gonna save my favorite quote. I'm gonna save that one because I feel like
That's
it's the one. But
it is the one.
it's the one. But it could definitely get Tyrone Hill, Cassell ugly, man, and that's not what you want. It's not, because it's not Halloween. It's not Halloween, so we're not trying to scare people. But people will be scared. People will be in fear. And it's the holidays, you feel me? So we gotta get right, man. We gotta pray. we gotta
We need to pray.
stretch, you know what I'm saying? Do all the little stuff, man. We need we gotta get together, man. This is the Bearcats gotta win a few games, man, because they can get real ugly. You got Clemson, which is no chump. Lipscomb is a respectable team. They should win that one though. But Houston, man, Houston is dog walking teams. Like, I don't know. I thought they were gonna struggle a little bit this year. I know they were gonna be like a top tier team. I thought they would struggle, have some kind of fall off, but no, they might have. They're talking about freshmen. They got one of the best freshmen in the game, and he's leading them in scoring. And I don't think I've ever seen that for a Houston team that's led by Kelvin Sampson. So Bearcats got a hell of a situation with that coming to Fifth Third soon. West Virginia lost to Xavier, right? I think UCF has been solid. Colorado, I'm slacking on that, but
Colorado's won 9 of their 11 non-conference games as well. They're 9-2 right now.
Iowa State beat the brakes off of Purdue?
Yep.
Like, it ain't nothing. Like, nothing is just like, yeah, that's a win. Like, that's a win. So that's why these next 2 games are super important. Like, they have to get confidence, have to start an identity. It has to start that Clemson game. That Clemson game should give them confidence, but man, it's not like you got these layup ass games. It's not that easy no more. You got Houston. Houston and Iowa State enough. It's just like within 2 weeks. You literally within 11 days are playing Houston and within 14 days you're playing Houston and Iowa State.
Jeez. Like you said, JT, this game could be, the Clemson game could be a turning point. So if you get a victory versus Clemson, turn around, play a Lipscomb, they'll be competitive.
Yeah.
Play pretty well, beat them, build that confidence up. I don't think we'll beat Houston, but if we're competitive with them,
yeah,
and show signs of fighting, and if it's a 1 or 2 possession game at the end, shit. What more can you ask for? Now you've got 3 games where I think you start seeing people go, okay, this is what we expected. This is what we want from this Bearcat team. So,
yeah.
And listen, shout out to the Clemson coaching staff. Well, a lot of ties to this area. I don't know if you guys know that. The head coach, Brad Brownell, did you know he was the head coach at Wright State?
No.
Yep, he was the head coach at Wright State. Clemson's assistant coach, Billy Donlin, he was also the head coach at Wright State at one time, for a while, actually, maybe 10 plus years, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go look that up. And then assistant coach in Dobo, director of basketball operations, Andy Astley, He not only graduated from the University of Cincinnati, but he worked with Bob Huggins with the Bearcat basketball program when he was here, and then followed Hugs to Kansas State. And Andy's from Cincinnati. His family still lives here. So a lot of ties to this area with this Clemson coaching staff. So the Big O segment was sponsored by Oakley Greens. Oakley Greens, the ultimate spot to catch your hometown team in every big game. With 6 giant LED screens and TVs at every angle, it's more than a sports bar. It's your entertainment headquarters. All the sports, all the time, all at Oakley Greens. Located in Oakley Station, next to the cinemas. Check them out on their website, oakleygreens.com. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast, which is presented by Donahue Accounting Services. Ladies and gentlemen, he's been defunded before on the podcast. He's come with some weak dad jokes. JT's had to mute him a few times, but our favorite segment that we all love, Neil Meyer in the name game.
It's gonna be an interesting name game. Looking at these names, Meach.
Yeah, it's not a lot of names, but we'll see what we got here. Let's start off with Clemson, Neil. Let's go with number. Then JT's gonna like this. Let's go with number 4.
For Clemson, number 4 is Butta Johnson.
Butta Johnson. Butta.
B-U-T-T-A.
Does Butter play? He
Let's
got to
look
play. It's Butter.
Let's look at the stats.
6'4" guard. He's a
Butter
senior.
play. Yeah,
Butta
Butter.
Johnson has not appeared in any games this year. Oh, his real name is Ephraim Johnson. He's appeared in 12 games this year.
Man.
I'm gonna call him Butta. I'm not gonna call him Ephraim.
Not Ephraim, yeah. Sound
Hey,
like
guess what his Twitter and IG handle is?
Smooth like butter.
Smooth like butter.
Butter. That's pretty fire. Pretty fire.
I respect that. I
Yeah.
respect that.
Same.
If you guys get a chance to, are you any of you going to the game? I know, JT, you're not going to the game, are you?
No.
Mm-mm. Nope,
Yeah.
we're not either.
Okay, that would have been fun to ask him about that nickname, Butta.
Sure. Butter.
That's all I have from Clemson, Neil. We're gonna move on to Lipscomb unless I missed somebody
Let's see.
on that Clemson team. I don't think I did. JT,
I'm looking. I don't
let-
think so.
let me know if I did. Let's jump into Lipscomb. Let's go with number 1, Neil.
For Lipscomb, number 1 is Mateo Esmeraldo.
That's kind of like a little. Where's he from?
California, Monroe, Connecticut.
Okay. That's kind of a cool little name there. Pick up some chicks with that name. Let's go with number 6. Here we go.
Number 6 is Or Ashkenazi.
Yes, or.
Or.
How about that one?
Or.
Either or.
Yeah.
He is from Israel.
What's up?
Israel. How do you say that? Look at where he's from, Neil.
Elliot
Yeah. What's the thing after that? I guess that would be a school.
Hapol.
You ever heard of that?
I have not.
Hapol Aliyah.
I haven't heard that either. Let's look at number 26.
Number 26 is Titus Sarginis
Not too bad.
from
He's-
Lithuania.
Where was Seamas from?
He was from Lithuania. I can't remember what part though.
Well, I feel like he might have been from Kunas.
Let me double check.
Dang. Let's see. I feel like
Went to High Point.
Oh yeah, he was from the same part.
Yeah. How about that?
respect. Look at my memory. My memory's on fire.
Look at you. It's because you're not eating all that candy, bro.
I know, man. I mean, been low candy.
You need to do like an infomercial on
I
like
do.
people that quit eating, that had like a candy addiction.
I know.
My name is JT Smith, and
Testimonial.
I quit Skittles.
I know. I'm done. No, I'm not fully done. No, I'm just tapering off. Tapering off. Feel me?
Okay. All right. Just hey, moderation is the key.
It is, man. It is. For real.
Key to life. Neil,
It
you hear
is.
that? Moderation. So when your boy got all those shots at the SantaCon, that's not
Hey.
moderation.
That was him making the decision to go to bed very early.
Yeah, he was speedballing.
He was speedballing's a great word there, because if you're doing rumplements in general, you know where it's putting you. It's putting you to sleep.
Definitely speedballing.
Well, listen, you. This was a short name game, so you didn't have to work as hard today, Neil. But I think next podcast we're gonna step the challenge up a little bit. So let's go ahead and jump into the Kenyan segment. This is where we cover the keys to the game. JT, let's start with you. What do the Bearcats need to do to win?
All right, man. I know I'm sounding like a broken record. I'm probably going to be a broken record, so I feel like it changes a little bit. But the Bearcats have to control their 3-point attempts. And I'm not against shooting threes. I know that's the lay of the land. But just think of this. The Bearcats shot 67 shots against Arizona State, jumping the gun. Alabama State. How many of those were threes?
How many did we shoot?
Shot 67 shots.
67. Okay.
Neil, don't look at the stats. If you were guesstimating, how many of those shots were threes? You already looked
I'm gonna say half of them at least.
Right.
I haven't looked at them.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I saw you glancing. It's more than half. 35 of them were threes.
And 9 of them were misses from Kirk Riesa.
Yes.
Man, he needs to chill out.
Bricks. No, but bricks. No, but all right. Get me the rapping Gucci man on the pod. Not today, but
no Gucci.
No Gucci today. No Gucci today. We won't go back. We won't go to the trap god on y'all. But yeah, man. Control threes. Like we talked about it earlier, not on the pod, but just like early in the game, they throw the ball down to Mustafa in the paint, kick it back out to Baba. Good three. If he misses that three, that is okay. That's a great three. I think it was the first one Jizzle made, that like on an offensive rebound and kick it back out there. Good three. Another one, I think he made 3 threes, but it was one that was like they went to the post a little bit, or they drove, went around the horn. Jizzle was the last one. Boom, he makes it. Good three. Just coming down, just firing up a three. Try to touch the paint, man. We got to try to touch the paint. And the guards have to shoot floaters in the paint too. Because, like, it was a play, Kerr drives. He didn't pump fake. He pump fake, shot a three. I think he might have made that one. But he drives. The lane is wide open. And then he tries to throw the alley-oop to Mustafa, and everybody's already crowded Mustafa. Shoot the floater. If you miss that, that's fine. But the reason why it was Mustafa couldn't finish is because both guys collapsed on Mustafa. He had the lane. Shoot that floater right there. You're 2 feet in the paint. You're doing Mustafa a disservice right there, throwing that up right there. Shoot that floater, because then if you got the threat of being a scorer, the defense is going to have to come to you, and then you could throw the oop to Mustafa. So then now he's going to be able to dunk that. Then Baba's going to be able to dunk that. You got to make it easier. So I just think they have to create, just like get to the paint more. I thought Shana Bayev, he shot terrible from 3. I like when he created. I like how he was creating for others yesterday. I felt like I didn't know he was that good of a passer, like off the dribble. I think that's something that Wes and the staff has to lean into. If his shot's going, he's a shot maker. He's a guy that I can see he can make 5 to 6 threes in a game. But if he's off, he can drive. I think like they have to tap into that, get some sets where he's going downhill and he can create for the others as well. I think that's going to be a key for them going into the Big 12.
And I like how you gave us some examples of situations where it was a good shot. It was a good three, and we just need to expand that, be a little bit more consistent with that.
Yeah.
See some success. So, Neil, your thoughts?
Yeah, so my keys to the game for this one is Cincinnati just needs to speed up the tempo in this game. I mean, you saw what Clemson was able to do versus BYU just a couple weeks ago at the Garden. BYU struggled when they were not able to play to their full strength and really play to their speed. Clemson is going to be a team that comes in and tries to milk every millisecond off the clock, and that's just how they play. They don't have this run and gun type of offense. They're going to try to play slow and play in the half court. But for Cincinnati, if they speed up the tempo and really want to push it and run, I think this is a game where they could get this victory. But they're going to have to make Clemson run a little bit up and down the court and play to their strengths, which is in transition in this one.
And who would you say from the Bearcats will impact the game that way the most for you?
I would say Day Thomas, because Sincere Harris is kind of dealing with what might be a back injury, a minor back injury. So his status heading into this one might be up in the air still. And for me, your guards are going to need to do something. I mean, Kirk Kriesa has been struggling as of late. So could this be a game where Jizzle James even has a big impact? It very well could be, but I really think Day Thomas is going to spearhead the Cincinnati's offense on Sunday versus Clemson.
Yeah, let me just throw two things out for my keys to the game quickly. I'm going to say rebounding and free throws. So on the rebounding side of things, I'm thinking rebounding defensively. I'm from the Bob Huggins era, so our concentration was on rebounding defensively, giving them one shot and out. So rebounding defensively and free throws. When we haven't been great at free throws, and just think how many games we would have either won or been in closer if we made some free throws. Neil, if you could help me out with the stats real quick. What are we shooting from the free throw line for the season thus far? And also, who's our best free throw shooter?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm pulling up the stats right now. Cincinnati is shooting 63% from the foul line right now. Now let me pull it up as the individual who's shooting the best from the foul line. Jizzle James has only taken one free throw attempt, so he's sitting at 1,000% right now, or 100%. But the best person is Day Thomas, sitting at 94% from the foul line right now, going 34 for 36.
All right, so take that back and go back to players to watch. My player to watch is Day. Let's get Day to the free throw line, getting him to attack downhill, like you said. Take some good shots, JT. Get to the free throw line, make our free throws. I'm surprised that Sean hasn't shot the ball better from the free throw line. What's he shooting right now?
61.
I'm surprised. I feel like he should be a better free throw shooter than what we've seen thus far. But I feel like there are a lot of guys on this team that are capable of making free throws. So I'm going to keep a big eye on that for the keys to the game. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. Let's get into the Twyman segment. This is where we cover hot topics, so there's no topic hotter in the streets right now than Jizzle James, the talk of Cincinnati sports. The question for this podcast, thanks to JT Smith, is, can Jizzle James save the Bearcat season? Now, before we get to you, JT, since it was your question, I know you're going to have some great insight. Neil, you're really good at this. Give us the backstory. How did we arrive at this to where Jizzle James is suited up and ready to play against Alabama State?
Yeah, it's kind of a situation like no other. I mean, when you look down at college basketball rosters, Cincinnati's roster was set in September after Lucas Atari was the last addition. And then people were wondering when they heard the rumors that Jizzle James was back in Cincinnati, what the intentions were or what's going on with that situation. But to break it down for you, Lucas Atari was originally committed to DePaul. He was never able to go through with that commitment, so he ended up here in Cincinnati, but he was never able to pass a medical background. So he was never medically cleared to play, per se, from what we were told by sources at the University of Cincinnati. And that led to a couple weeks ago where you come down to the beginning of December or mid-November when Jizzle comes back to Cincinnati. They officially removed Lucas Atari from the roster. They knew he wasn't going to play because he wasn't medically cleared. So when the semester ended last week, which was on Friday, for those who were wondering, a week from when this podcast came out, Lucas Atari left Cincinnati. That opened up a roster spot, and Wes Miller and them brought in Jizzle James. Now, it's worth noting, too, that Jizzle James just wasn't suddenly added to the roster on Wednesday. He's been actively with the team and whatnot. He was added to the roster originally back in November. People just kind of forgot that's when they removed Lucas Atari. It was just kind of kept under the wraps. And that's when they originally added Jizzle James. So Jizzle was able to practice with the team because if they didn't remove Lucas Atari from the roster, Jizzle James wouldn't have been able to practice with them. But Jizzle has been practicing with the team for the last 2.5, 3 weeks per se. So that's how it all came about. Was Lucas Atari, long story short, never got medically cleared since arriving in Cincinnati, and he is no longer here within the program.
Thank you, Neil. JT, we'll jump to you. Can Jizzle James save the Bearcat season?
Man, I hope. Honestly, I think it'll give. I mean, for one night, it gave them a shot in the arm. I just felt like the juice was a little bit back on the team. So I'm hoping the reasons why I was thinking they have a chance. He has a chance to save the season. Is Jizzle was the leading scorer last year on the team, knows the system. It's not like he doesn't know the system, know the majority of the players. Of course, with the portal and stuff, it's going to be a little different. But, I mean, his backcourt mate is still there. So he's got familiarity there. He's played with a few of them in the summer before stuff kind of went awry. So, I mean, when Jizzle's on, he's a top-tier talent. To get somebody like that in the middle of the season with the injuries the Bearcats have had, it's a shot in the arm. So it's a chance, man. I mean, against somebody that talented, you have a chance to, because I think the pairing of him and Day are just for college basketball, they can be real dynamic because they can pester you on the defensive end and they both can make plays. I think Jizzle, the more Jizzle gets his feet wet and gets his feet under him in gameplay, him and Day I think are going to take off. And with Baba can stay where he's at. And Mustafa gets a little bit more aggressive when he catches in the paint and just get more confidence. I think that pick and roll and what they do on offense can be real dangerous because I feel like Baba in a dunker spot can be real dangerous, especially with Day and Jizzle being able to create for others.
JT, I think you said this earlier, and I felt this during that Alabama State game. When you come off of a loss to Georgia, fans' morale's low, team's a little bit low. All of a sudden, Jizzle's back, and the energy's back. And if anything, like, can Jizzle save the season? I don't know. But to give that spark of energy is maybe what this team needs.
No, for sure, 100%. Like I feel like they have a chance where I thought it was real bleak before. I think he allows a lot. I mean, he could take a lot of pressure off of other players. I feel like Baba doesn't have to be where he was like the number one guy. I mean, he's still labeled the number one guy as of right now, but Jizzle can have a game where he's used to having that number one spot here. So like he can do that. Then he could, Day, where Day is a great complementary piece. So I think it allows Day to go back to that spot where he can, go off for 25, but he doesn't have to per se, where he just could stay at that 8 to 12 range. But as long as he's playing pestering defense, making the right passes, where Jizzle, you can damn near pencil him in for 12 to 20 if he's playing significant minutes. And I think that's something that you can't account for, even if no matter what kind of plays you're running, you can account for Jizzle to be able to get his And I think that's going to take a lot of pressure off of others. And I think that's going to honestly help Sean get easier shots. I think that with the talent on his team, I think it's going to allow people to kind of free people up and to take the pressure off of them. I don't think like Sean will be. I think Sean will have a big game in a Big 12 where he scores 25 plus. But I think it's going to be because they have Jizzle back. I think that's going to allow it to open it up. I think now you have to game plan a little different for the Bearcats.
Yeah, I also think, JT, it helps having Jizzle back when – I don't know how you guys feel, but I don't think Kerr's given us what we expected. I think, if Kerr's not producing, Jizzle can step in and take some of that off, because I don't think we've had that, right?
That's super fair.
And listen, I think Sean's a great kid. I think he'll be a great player. He's just not ready yet. I mean, he's a young guy. So having a guy like Jizzle does help when, I don't know, what did Kerr end up with Alabama State game point wise?
3.
Huh?
I think 3.
3. I know he's missing a lot of threes. Ooh.
Yeah.
Every shot he takes is a 3. I think when we were talking about the other day, Kerr's shooting 85% of his shots are threes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when he's not playing well, he's got to come sit down. And hopefully Jizzle can provide. Another thing, too, that Jizzle does that I really like is Jizzle's not afraid to go shoot that mid-range shot.
Yep.
I mean, he's been a midi god, right? That's how he eats, that mid-range. So I think that's something we need. You talk about shot selection, JT. And, Jizzle's the guy that shoots that mid-range, I think, maybe more than anybody, right?
Yeah,
On the team.
Not for sure. Definitely. 100%. So, we need that.
For sure. Neil, your thoughts? Can Jizzle save the season?
It's an interesting question. It really is. But when you look at Cincinnati's roster right now, I mean, I think he provided the spark that they needed the other night. But if Cincinnati wants to win in the Big 12, it's going to start with their backcourt. Day Thomas and Jizzle James both provide that spark, because it's interesting. You guys asked me to look up Kirk Reese's stats moments ago. When you're shooting a combined 5 for 18 plus 8, 26, all from 3 in the last 3 games, that's what Kirk Reese's stats are right now.
Wait. Say it again.
So the last 3 games, Kirk Reese has finished 2 of 9 versus Xavier, 2 of 8 versus Georgia, 1 of 9 versus Alabama State. So it combined 5 for 26.
My Roger Bacon math's not that great. I don't know what that percentage is, but I don't like it.
And then all of those shots have been from behind the arc.
5 for 26.
It's not ideal. It's about 22%.
That sounds like I know it was low 20s in my head.
But Jizzle James, like you guys mentioned, I mean, I thought his performance on Wednesday night was probably one of the best games of his Bearcat career. And he has had plenty of good games, but he looked confident. He looked free.
Let me say something, guy. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you said that was one of his best games. He looked confident. I tell you what I think, because I'd forget this if I didn't say it now. I think what attributed to that was when I went down to practice and I talked to Jizzle, and this was before he was like gonna. I think didn't he go on a road game? What road trip?
Yeah, he went to the Georgia game.
So it was before that. I asked him. I said, "Are you going to return this season?" And some of the stuff we talked about, I'm not going to say publicly now, and then we got to the point where, could you play in a college basketball game right now? And he was like, I don't know if I'm in shape to play like the minutes. This is what he told me at the practice. And so I think, my opinion, watching him versus Alabama State, if you go back and watch, because I watched the replay of it on ESPNU, he did a real good job of pacing himself. He wasn't wasting energy because he's not in game shape yet.
Yeah.
It's hard to be in game shape until you're playing games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think he did a good job of pacing himself, picking and choosing his spots And sometimes that's a mental thing you've got to do. And hence, he plays one of his best games.
And especially, too, with everything that he's dealt with. I mean, he's only been practicing for about 3 weeks. And
Yeah.
most of these guys have been – I mean, he practiced a little bit in the offseason before everything went down. He was with the program. But essentially, he's missed the heart and soul of Coach Rayfeld's conditioning program, per se, right? So, I mean, he gets dismissed in August. Most of these guys are going through this offseason workout. So I thought in the 20 minutes of play, I think we all looked to each other on press row as well. And we were like, hey, like, he's not overusing that energy. He's not just going guns a-blazing, full speed down the court. He was picking guys up at times in the half court and doing a little bit of pressing, but he, like you mentioned, he wasn't wasting that energy. I thought he gave him 20 good minutes, 16 points, 6 of 9 shooting, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. I mean, I thought he had a really efficient night. And for Cincinnati, and obviously, too, as the season progresses forward, you have a couple of days here. You had Thursday, Friday, Saturday before getting into Clemson. That's 3 more practices for Jizzle James. You give him maybe another week and a half, 2 weeks before that Houston game. He might be closer to game shape, obviously, for Houston. And most importantly, you're going to need him down the conference stretch, especially if Sincere Harris's injury is something that could linger. Jalen Celestine's been banged up. Like, the cards weren't there for him to essentially play. Like Wes Miller even said, it was unlikely for him to play this season. But now everything's on the table where it's like he could be a key contributor down the stretch. And if people were expecting that a couple weeks ago, a lot of people would have been like, there's no shot. But the injury bug has came above again. And Jizzle James, if he continues to make the strides and make the improvements here over the next few weeks, he realistically could become an impact player for this team down the stretch, especially with the injuries. Kirk Carissa struggling. Like, they're going to need something outside the guard position, especially in Big 12 play when Day Thomas is going to be hounded by some of these teams. I mean, the Big 12 is so guard heavy. They're going to need more than one guard to operate and score in this offense. And right now, they only have that in Day Thomas. So Jizzle could come in and be that factor. It could get interesting.
And I just want to say this. I want to kind of close on this with Jizzle. I think it's a great story right now, but I think it could even end a better story for Jizzle. Someone that battled adversity, went through some stuff, worked on fixing himself, and now has been given a second chance. Let's hope he takes advantage of this chance and this opportunity. And at the end of the season, my hope is he plays at a very, very high level, plays well, and now you have a success story on your hands. And you've got a coaching staff, you've got a university that did not give up on this young man when it was so easy just to push him out, as Steve Logan said. And so props again to West, but also props to Jizzle. You've got to learn to fix yourself. Sometimes you got to look in the mirror, and sometimes you got to have a hard conversation with yourself that I effed up. I got to get better. So it's one thing to recognize the mistakes you've made. Then it's another thing to say, I need to get better. And then it's a whole nother thing to actually get better.
Yeah.
And he's done those things. So he needs to be applauded. And I'm glad I saw clips on Twitter of the fans that cheered for him when he went in the game. They stood on him. And I think he felt that. He felt that. And again, and JT, you know this, man. We can't. It's so easy to give up on our young people, and I think sometimes people give up on athletes at the college level because they seem to be stars. They have NIL money.
Yeah.
They're still young people.
Yeah.
Bro, they are still capable of making mistakes. And somebody I saw on Twitter was criticizing Jizzle for he blew this opportunity in the past and blah, blah, blah. He shouldn't be getting it. And somebody said something to this guy, and I really love this. And they said to this guy who was critical of Jizzle, and UC should not give him a say. They said, would you be saying that if that was your son? If that was your son, would you want someone helping your son a group of people believing in your son, overcoming adversity, and that what college is about. I thought that was a great statement, man, and it's so I'm happy to see where he is. Let's hope, knock on wood. I don't know where any wood is. Maybe behind me. Keep our fingers crossed that he keeps
Yeah.
the trajectory going. And then now I told him this at practice. I said, Jizzle, as you continue to improve yourself, at some point when you reach that level, you've got to reach back down and help the next group. You got to help somebody else, help that next young person that either is going through stuff or you can see they're about to go through some of the things that I did. And I think that's the beauty of life,
Yeah.
to get better and help the next. Anything you guys want to add on to that?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I want to take away is, I mean, you have to applaud him for how he handled the situation. I mean, usually as a young kid like that, when you go down the road you went down, you don't see many of them admit and get the help that they need, especially at this young age, including my generation. And for him to do so, identify that he has this opportunity to get better for himself, for this program, this university, and then to look in the mirror and say, hey, I own up to my mistakes. I'm sorry. And that's not an easy thing to do. You don't hear kids in this generation, my age included, admit when they're wrong. So for him to do that at this young age and admit that he was wrong, come back and make amends with some of the guys on the team too. I mean, people remember that whole situation, and to
Yeah.
get the trust of his players, his teammates, coaching staff, that's huge. That's huge. And you just have to sit back and applaud him. I mean, it's not easy dealing with the situation might have been, but to get a second chance and come and take advantage of it, I mean, not many people get those second chances. So, like you mentioned, Meach, he's ready to embrace that. He's thankful for it, and it really is going to be it might, like you said, it's a cool story now, and it's a heartfelt story now. But say in a year and a half or 2 years down the road, if the NBA comes calling potentially, or whatever that professional journey might be, that's when this story will be really cool to look back on and see how he handled the adversity and all that kind of stuff. So really just want to take the time to appreciate Coach West, Coach Dollar, Coach Morgan, Coach Buckley, and the staff, because it's bigger than basketball in the end, like you guys mentioned, and they're all great people. So you really have to really, really give your praise to the coaching staff, the university, everything they did for Jizzle to not only focus on basketball, but most importantly, care for him as a person. That's the bigger picture to take away from this, is everything's bigger than sports in a sense. So to see them really kind of support him and back him through all of this was really cool to see.
JT, any closing thoughts?
Oh, for sure. You guys got all the key points though, man. But yeah, just in general, man, it was dope. Like when I saw him, like, when the fans saw him in the crowd, I spoke to him, and I just was like, "Hey, man, you look good, man." And he just like, "Thanks." You know what I'm saying? Like, just keep pushing. Like just saying, like, just from stories I heard in the summer to then. You know what I mean? It was just like dope to see that he was himself. You know what I mean? So that's always a good thing. And then, like people say, like, because they get these NIL deals, they're still young men. Money doesn't solve everything. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good thing to have, but at the same time, like, just because you have money doesn't mean you don't have problems or stuff that can creep up on you. You know what I mean?
We all got problems.
Everybody got problems. Nobody's perfect. If we were perfect, we would be somebody making high calls or having we'll be the man upstairs, and we're not. So not to get on the spiritual path on the pod, but yeah, man, it's dope to see, man. Battle this, and then you guys hit all the good points, man. And yeah, it's bigger than basketball. So like it's gonna be something that young kids can kind of see. Stuff can happen, and then but you can recover from it, because if you got people in your corner that really love you and will hold you accountable, and if you're gonna you're gonna improve on yourself, they're gonna give you another chance, which Wes and the crew has done. A lot of people, like you said, they would turn their back on that young man, and then who knows how that could have spiraled out. Even if he wouldn't have played the way Wes and those guys still care for Jizzle, that that's big. That's big, man. And that's like kind of one of those things. Like as a person, those people, you know, you need more people in the world like that.
Yeah, absolutely. You about to turn to TD Jakes there for a second. You about
Yeah,
to
yeah.
put the Kirk Franklin on. I heard you.
Almost, man, almost. But yeah, man, because people think like you know, like I'll troll people online because I can take it and dish it. But people they say they get all high and mighty on people sometimes, like they never had a situation or they never had they know
Oh,
a family member that didn't do certain stuff. Like they just have this
no doubt.
perfect life, and people like to throw rocks at a glass house a lot. You know what I mean? So it's just like let's just keep it real. You know what I mean? Like everybody's had a trial or tribulation. Like might not have been what Jizzle went through, but there might be something similar. You know what I mean? So people gotta just be real, give people grace sometimes, and people don't, man.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And I listen. I think it's a great story, and hopefully this story ends even better at the end of the season. And if this Bearcat basketball team changes things around, we can kind of go back and point to Jizzle.
Yeah,
He was a big part of that.
for sure.
Well, fellas, this concludes another great podcast. Thanks to all of our sponsors, Donahue Accounting Services, Purple Monkey Project, and Oakley Greens. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. For friendly expert tax advice whenever you need it, come to Donahue Accounting Services. A leading accounting firm in Cincinnati, Ohio, our top-notch accountants strive to help you resolve all your financial and tax issues. Call Donahue Accounting Services today for a free consultation at 513-528-3982 or visit online at DonahueAccountingService.com. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. Go Bearcats.